All right, we're going to have some fun here on today's Four Verts episode where we talk NFL and college football every single day. My name is Harrison Graham. We are redrafting the 2022 NFL Draft, just round one, obviously. And the reason we're doing this video is, A, I think it's a fun idea, and B, on a video earlier this week, I challenged you guys in the comments. I said, hey, send me your video ideas, and the most liked comment will be the video we do. Shout out to Caden Goodvaldson. He got the most likes on his comment, and this was his video idea to redraft the 2022 NFL Draft. That, of course, was the draft in which Brock Purdy was Mr. Irrelevant. That was when Malik Willis and Kenny Pickett were the two most talked about quarterbacks at the time. If you can't remember how that draft went, it was Travon Walker at the top, then Aidan Hutchinson, then so on and so forth. So get a good look real quick here. I'll give you a few seconds of it on screen. That is how it went, 1 through 32. Now we are going to redraft it. And the way we're going to do it, by the way, we're going to do it as if the teams who still traded during the draft traded. I'm not going to the original picks. Just redrafting how it is right there, 1 to 32, where those teams are in those slots. So if your team doesn't have a first-round pick, like the Bears, for example, didn't work out. And I know a lot of Bears fans watch this show, so kind of a bummer. Okay, drop your video ideas in the comments. We're going to run it back, baby. The next few months, obviously, not as much going on. We got OTAs, rookie minicamp, some different things. But I want you guys to have influence on the show. It's an interactive community here. The most liked comment gets a video in the next week or so. Obviously, if there's more pressing news or storylines out there, that'll take priority. But whichever video idea comment gets the most likes, that is the video we will do. Okay, I think pretty clearly if you redrafted, it would not be Travon Walker, number one. Not because he's bad, good player, but I think it would be Aidan Hutchinson. Now, he's coming off that injury, so we'll see how he looks, but he was on the cusp of All-Pro, potentially Defensive Player of the Year last year before the injury. He clearly has been a better player than Travon Walker, so I think the Jags would go in that direction. I think the Lions, who did get Aidan Hutchinson at number 2 overall, I think Derek Stingley becomes the pick. They have not been great at corner in recent years. Stingley, in what's been a loaded corner draft, by the way, some more will come off the board here. I think he has emerged at this point in time as the best one. I think he goes number 2. Okay, the Houston Texans thought about Sauce Gardner here, but I'm going to go Trent McDuffie, just a little bit more versatile. He's the best nickel in the league, but he can also play outside corner. I think D'Amico Ryans would like that versatility there on the back end. Obviously, they can't get their guy Stingley here, but they still get Trent McDuffie, who's an all-pro as well. Okay, how about Brock Purdy to the Jets? Now, I don't think Brock Purdy is the 4th best player from this draft, but he's by far the best quarterback in this draft, and the Jets forever have had QB question marks. If Brock Purdy played 90% of the level he's been as the 49ers with the Jets, that would be the best quarterback they've had in years. So I think he would be the pick here for New York at number 4, given what we know. Okay, Sauce Gardner does end up in New York, just not with the Jets. He ends up with the Giants, who have been scrambling at cornerback for years. By the way, I'm completely blanking on who they drafted the next year, but he has not worked out too well. Deontay Banks, thank you very much, producer Colin. Sauce Gardner obviously would give them a high-level corner and would have been a great pick for them at the time for the Giants. Okay, Charles Cross, the left tackle for Seattle. Pretty interesting offensive line draft here, some different options. I do think Cross would be the option here. He's been better than Akeem Ekwonu, although Ekwonu has been solid for Carolina. I think Cross has been better. He's on a higher trajectory at this point in time. Okay, Tyler Smith would be the pick for the Giants. Their offensive line's in flux. He could play guard. He could play tackle. I think the versatility would be valuable. He'd probably play left guard next to Andrew Thomas, and that'd be a pretty formidable left side of the offensive line. Okay, I still think Atlanta goes Drake London. A couple different options. You could go here. You could go Garrett Wilson if that's your flavor of receiver. You could have gone with a cornerback here as well. Their O-line's pretty set, so I don't think they'd go that direction. Could have gone Travon Walker. Their pass rush has been underwhelming the last few years, but I stuck with the original pick for the first time in this redraft. All right, don't forget to subscribe to us here on Four Verts for more NFL and college football coverage. Every single day, we got you covered. We are so close to 10,000 subscribers. I would greatly appreciate the support. It's free. Just hit that sub button. Okay, Travon Walker is the pick for Seattle. I would like him in that scheme. Obviously, they got Charles Cross here, so since you don't get him, could have gone offensive tackle, could have gone with like Zach Tom or Akeem Ekwonu or someone like Bernard Raymond, someone like that. But I give them a pass rusher. Their pass rush has been a little spotty in recent years. Okay, Kyle Hamilton to the Jets. Especially in a redraft. If you know what you know now that Aaron Glenn would be the coach, I mean, I would love Kyle Hamilton and Aaron Glenn coach defense. One of the best safeties in the NFL and would be a fun chess piece on the back end there. Garrett Wilson goes to the Saints. Certainly still could have taken him for the Jets, but since Purdy was the pick at 4, I wanted to go defense there. Garrett Wilson ends up going to the Saints. I think he's better than Chris Olave. Obviously, Olave's had a bit of a concussion issue as well, so I think Wilson just naturally becomes the safer pick. Another same pick situation, Jameson Williams. Going to stick here. We'll see what his future is long term, but I thought he had a big-time breakout year. And, you know, if it's close, give me the guy who can take it the distance every time he touches the ball. Maybe Chris Olave is a more consistent down-to-down player, but Jameson Williams has that big play ability that so many teams covet. How about Tyler Linderbaum? Think about 2022, right? Jason Kelce retired, I believe, after the 2023 season. So that could have been an ideal, hey, we'll draft you here. You take over in a year or two. He's emerged as one of the 3 or 4 best hitters in the league. Cam Jurgens is a good player. He's been solid, but Linderbaum is a fringe all-pro. I think that would be an awesome fit for a team that always invests heavily in offensive line. Okay, Chris Olave does go here to the Baltimore Ravens, as at the time they didn't really have a true number 1 receiver. Olave would provide that for Lamar Jackson. Kirby Joseph to the Texans here. So they don't get Derek Stingley, but they do come back later in the first round and still get a defensive back in Kirby Joseph, who recently became, I believe, the highest paid safety in the NFL. Plays with an edge and intensity that I think DeMeco Ryans would love. Okay, the Commanders get Kayvon Thibodeau. Jury's still out a little bit there with Tibbs. He's been good, not great, but I think 16 overall is more proper value than where he went inside the top 10. George Karlaftis to the Chargers at 17. He's been really solid for Kansas City. You know, Harbaugh and company love those pass rushers, and obviously even at the time, Khalil Mack was getting a little bit older. Joey Bosa's injuries are starting to kick into gear, and now that time has played out, you would really like to get a young pass rusher in there, and Karlaftis is just that. Bernard Raymond to the Tennessee Titans. They have swung and missed on a lot of left tackles. They had Nicholas Petit-Frere. That one did not work out. Dylan Radins, that one didn't work out. Raymond's been good with the Indianapolis Colts, so he ends up elsewhere in the AFC South in this draft with Tennessee. Luke Gadecki goes to the Saints at 19. Obviously, at the time, they didn't have Talise Fuaga or Kelvin Banks yet, so Gadecki would be a guy that you would have played opposite of Ryan Ramczyk. Okay, Deron Bland becomes the pick here for Pittsburgh, and imagine him in that defense. Their nickel corner spot has just not been consistent at all. It's been one of the few weaknesses on the Steelers' defense. You put Bland, who's a big-time playmaker on the back end, with his ability to pick off passes there. That becomes one of the best defenses in the NFL. If you're enjoying this video, let me know, and let us know if we should do another one. I think 2021 would be a fun draft to redo. The Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, Zach Wilson, Mac Jones, Trey Lance draft. Do any of those quarterbacks other than probably T-Law even go in the first round in a redraft? Probably not. It'd be a fun exercise. Let me know if you want to do another redraft video. Type Y for yes. If you don't, that's okay. Type in for no. Okay, Nick Benito moves elsewhere in the AFC West. He goes to the Kansas City Chiefs. Obviously, they ended up with Trent McDuffie and George Karlaftis. I mean, what a 2-pick call that was, largely due to the Tyreek Hill trade. Benito would be a solid recovery if you don't end up with Karlaftis. Devontae Wyatt, the defensive tackle for Green Bay, still goes to Green Bay, but just a few picks earlier in this scenario. Good pass rusher, inconsistent against the run, but I think late in the first round, those interior pass rushers are very valuable. Christian Benford, remember this was the Kyer Elam pick for Buffalo. They actually get Benford as well this time around, just in the first round. He's been very, very good for them. Emerged as one of the best nickels in the league. James Cook goes to Dallas. They have not had consistent running back play the last couple years. They still leave something to be desired at that position. If you had James Cook the last couple years in that backfield, you'd be feeling pretty good about yourself if you're the Dallas Cowboys. Jermaine Johnson, who had a big year too, and then last year got an injury. He goes a little later in the first round, but I still think he does go round 1. Did recently have his 5th-year option picked up. Baltimore Ravens get him on board, and you imagine him in Baltimore. He'd be very, very good. Okay, Kyler Gordon, who went in the 2nd round to the Bears. He goes to the Jets at 26. Versatile nickelback that I think Aaron Glenn would love to have on his side. Can do some different things like that fit. Okay, Jordan Davis. I'm not a huge Jordan Davis guy, but I thought he had a better year last year. He's good against the run. Jacksonville could use some more toughness, so you add him to the interior of that defensive line. Okay, Zach Tom, versatile offensive lineman, can play tackle, can play guard. Went 4th rounder. He ends up going late in the 1st round here to the team that actually drafted him, but he's outperformed that 4th round selection. Okay, Akeem Ekwonu still goes round 1 to the Patriots, who have been looking for offensive tackle help for years. If they knew now what they knew then, they would have just taken one, and Ekwonu would have been a decent option there. Breece Hall to the Chiefs. Breece Hall hasn't fully taken off, but obviously Isaiah Pacheco has been a nice find for Kansas City in the 7th round, but putting Breece Hall into that offense the last couple of years, who knows? I mean, they still won 2 Super Bowls, but maybe they're more competitive last year if they had a reliable run game. Trey McBride, who was briefly the highest paid tight end in NFL history before George Kittle retopped it, he would have been the pick for the Bengals. Could you imagine adding him into that offense with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins? I mean, Jesus, that would have been absolutely lethal for Joe Burrow. And then Khalil Shakir, I think he sneaks in here. The Vikings didn't have Jordan Addison yet, so you get Shakir to be that number 2 guy next to Justin Jefferson. That would be a whole lot of fun. And you could debate Shakir Addison even now, I would say, as Addison went in the next draft. But I think he sneaks in here to round 1. All right, so fun exercise. Obviously, not everyone had a first-round pick in this redraft, so sorry about the few teams who did not. My name is Harrison Graham. Let us know if you want another redraft video. Don't forget to subscribe. Closing in on 10,000 subscribers. We'll see you guys next time here on 4 Verts.